I was talking to an MP last night, and I hope to be able to share some of that with you later on. And he conceded that he had written one of the letters to the Speaker of the House of Commons, Lindsay, Hoyle, demanding his resignation for the partisan approach that the Speaker took over the Gaza debate. Lindsay Hoyle hasn't gone. He's quietened down a lot. But this MP, nevertheless, even when writing that letter calling for his resignation, recognised that Lindsay Hoyle had remarkable qualities. And we saw those today as he welcomed the MP for Thanet, Craig MacKinlay, not only into the chamber, but up the steps into the Parliament building itself from the car park. And that kindness, that desire to help, is something that has characterised his tenure as Speaker of the House of Commons. And I'll deal with Prime Minister questions later on today. But the Prime Minister's questions began with thunderous applause, which is very rare in the House of Commons. It's considered inappropriate behaviour for Craig. And at the end of Prime Minister's questions, Rishi Sunak saluted the MP and his family for their resilience in the face of this extraordinary disease. This is a man who thought that he had a cold and in the end went down with sepsis and had both his feet and both his hands amputated. It's a terrifying story. He says he's just thankful to be alive, and he calls himself the bionic MP. And it is remarkable to see somebody back in the job for which he was elected, and to see such a chorus of support for an MP across the House. And sometimes I think in the helter-skelter of party politics, the impression is given that these MPs all dislike one another. They don't. There is extraordinary camaraderie across the chamber because these are all people doing the same job and doing a job under extraordinary pressure and extraordinary focus. And yes, there are some who have very strange and wacky and bad ideas, and there are some who have very good ideas who never get heard. But their primary job is to be representatives for their constituents and to help the constituents. Their secondary job, for example, might be to be Prime Minister, to be the Minister of this, the Minister of that, which is a second job. Or indeed, to be working on GB News. Anyway, as I say, I'll get back to Prime Minister's questions later on, but I think it's so wonderful to see Lindsay Hoyle doing what he does best.